Welcome into the PFF NFL Daily. Today discussing predictions. That's right, the PFF Daily is going to go on a little sabbatical here. So we're going to get our early predictions for the season. We'll start with team predictions, Super Bowl winners, surprise teams, all that fun stuff. And then, you guys can listen to this throughout the summer and spring and let us know how wrong we are. So let's get into it, Sam. We did this last year. Early predictions for the season. Let's start with AFC, NFC winner, shall we? And who's going to go to the Super Bowl?
Okay. Every year, this is where I go off the rails because I don't take the favorite. That's the easiest way of doing it, right? You just pick the favorite. Even if it goes wrong, you're still fine because you're in with everybody else that got it wrong, which was most people. So the favorites this year for the Super Bowl, it's Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Green Bay, the usual suspects, right? I'm going to go out of left field. I'm going to say that bringing in Deshaun Watson, if he plays all year, is going to catapult the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl from the AFC. This is a team that had Super Bowl aspirations last year, and then Baker Mayfield tore his shoulder up, played like crap for most of the year, and they didn't get there. Deshaun Watson, even over a healthy Baker Mayfield, is a significant upgrade, and a healthy Baker Mayfield last year might have had them in contention. So I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns are the AFC team in the Super Bowl. NFC, look, there's no way Tom Brady isn't making it to the Super Bowl. Whilst he's got his Fox contract, he can probably do a little Fox segment from the sideline during the game. It's a perfect transition. Gets to step right off the podium with the Lombardi trophy, goes right to the booth with it, just says, see ya to whoever's calling the game. I've got it from here, and it's the perfect transition.
Oh, so you at least went with Tampa Bay, one of the favorites in the NFC. But the AFC, like figuring out the AFC is nuts.
Yeah.
Because you picked the Browns, the last year's Super Bowl representative in that division with the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year's favorite going into the season, the Baltimore Ravens, probably only finished 8-9 in part because Lamar Jackson got hurt. They should be better. The Steelers are still a tough team. Went 9-7-1 last year. So the Browns are going to get out of that division and out of the crazy AFC throughout the playoffs. It's a bold pick. I didn't go all that crazy, but I could see it, man. Like you said, the Browns have been laying the ground, like building this roster really for a few years now, and they've gotten some decent years out of Baker Mayfield. But if Deshaun Watson does play the entire season, he could put them over the top. I didn't go too crazy with my picks. I went Tampa Bay and Buffalo.
Wow.
I'm really buying into Buffalo.
Right out on the limb with that.
Yeah. Buffalo, what was it, 13 seconds? 13 seconds away from going to the AFC Championship, and the Bengals would have gone to Buffalo in 0-degree weather with howling winds and Joe Burrow's little arm and all that stuff and Josh Allen's big arm cutting the wind. Buffalo's doing it. Do you want me to get crazy? I can go crazy. I'll say Dallas. Let's go Dallas in the NFC. Forget Tampa Bay. You already took the Bucks.
Yeah.
We'll go Cowboys-Bills rematch from the early 90s. Cowboys and Bills. The Cowboys had the second best point differential in the NFL last year. Yeah, they lost a couple pieces, but Cowboys have also got a really good foundation intact, and this is the year Dak Prescott takes the next step. So I'll say Dallas and Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Certainly maybe a little bit crazier than simply taking the favorite from both conferences. And let's extend it a little bit further to Dallas at least.
Does Tampa Bay win then? So you say Brady gets his trophy and it's number 8 and off to the and then he retires?
Walks right into the Fox announcing booth. Drop kicks Greg Olsen at the door, whoever was in there, and just says, I got it from here, puts on the headset.
Is Olsen the number 1 this year?
I don't know. I haven't seen what they're doing yet.
Olsen's really good, man.
Yeah.
They should probably just go with, what if Brady's not good? For $37 million.
You would have to hope there's some outs in that contract.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen other guys. Anyway, let's not get off the rails here. But yeah, Tom Brady's going to make over $37 million to go to the Fox booth. So you're taking Tampa Bay to win it. I'll say Buffalo. This is the year they get over the hump. And they win it. The Buffalo Bills. How about a surprise team? Either way, good or bad, surprise team in the NFL this season.
I'm going to say that for all the tinkering they've done, for all the big moves, for all the building around and moving in the right direction, Miami still kind of stinks. I don't think they're going to have done anything in this brutal AFC where everybody else has been in this arms race, and no amount of bringing Tyreek Hill in with Tua, it's just not going to happen, right? You saw the tweet, right?
You're not overreacting to the throw, are you? You're not doing this. I refuse to let this happen on our podcasts.
I'm not
refuse.
overreacting to the throw as much as that throw is kind of emblematic to their problem, right? Tua is still the quarterback. He still doesn't have a great arm. He still has marginal NFL tools. He still hasn't really shown he's capable of being anything other than a place-holding meh kind of quarterback. And in this conference, that's just not going to get it done. Look at the QBs he's got to go up against. Even if they somehow get out of that division and get to the playoffs, look at the people he's got to go toe-to-toe against and get past. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. Forget him. Like, no, that's not happening.
You're overreacting because Tua seemingly underthrew Tyreek Hill against air in minicamp.
Seemingly.
Yeah, the whole situation's ridiculous. My surprise team, I was actually going to go with the Jets. In the same division, the 4-13 Jets, who looked really bad last year. Robert Saleh's first year. Let's not forget, Robert Saleh, defensive head coach, and they gave up like 600 yards to the Colts in one game and all this. Like, they were getting torched. But 2 years of really putting an offensive line together, adding to the receiving core. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to look as bad as he did in year one. I mean, the year two jump for a lot of these quarterbacks, one of the stories of the season, because we have seen through the years, we've seen Jared Goff take a big step after a horrible rookie season. We saw Derek Carr wasn't great as a rookie, took a big step in year two. We saw Matthew Stafford wasn't great as a rookie, took a big step in year two. There are enough QBs through the years that have done it. So is that Trevor Lawrence? Is that Zach Wilson? I think Wilson will get better. The Jets have added to both sides of the ball. Sauce Gardner on the defense. Pass rush should be better. Coverage should be better. Everything offensively should be better. It's a tough division. Having anybody up and coming in the AFC is a difficult one because of how loaded it is and how much they're going to beat each other up. But I'll take the Jets as my surprise team to take a big step forward this year.
I could see that. I mean, the Jets, I think, have done a really fantastic job this offseason of improving across the board. Everything they've done has moved them in the right direction. So the Jets should be headed somewhere much better than they were a year ago. The big problem is that it all rests on Zach Wilson. Like, he needs to be better this year. If he is, they can't help but go somewhere better.
All right, we'll wrap it up with worst to first. But first, don't forget, all summer, you can use the promo code NFLPOD, 25% off any PFF subscription, 25% off using the promo code NFLPOD. All of the grade stats, fantasy rankings, gambling advice, all of the great stuff. PFF Elite, PFF Edge, it's all 25% off using promo NFLPOD. Every year, Sam, there is a team that goes worst to first. Last year, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals go from worst to first to the Super Bowl. So, give me a team that's going to go from worst to first this season.
I will stay in that same division and say Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens were bottom in that division last season.
So that's the obvious one, right? You're taking the obvious one.
Well, it's the right one. The Ravens were absolutely decimated by injuries. They were literally calling up guys from the practice squad on a Thursday to have to cover Devontae Adams over the weekend. Or I think it was at a Monday night game, but to cover Devontae Adams within a matter of days, right?
Yep.
Like, that's not going to work. You can't get away with that. So they're not going to be injured as badly this next season. It's going to swing back in their direction, and Lamar Jackson's probably not going to get hurt. And they're not going to have the kind of bad injury luck that they had last year. And when you put that roster back together again, it's a very good team. It's a very well coached team. It's got a quarterback that's legit. It has tools. So I think Baltimore immediately bounces back to being one of the contenders in the AFC and is battling it out for winning that division.
I mean, yeah, just the health alone, Baltimore's far better than an 8 and 9 team, and they were the number one seed halfway through the season. Remember, They kept flipping in the AFC. It was the Bengals, it was the Ravens, it was the Chiefs. It eventually became the Titans. I think we're going to see more of that in the AFC. So absolutely, the Ravens. I don't think the betting markets are sleeping on them, but I think maybe the public might be sleeping on the Ravens just because the last thing we saw was Bengals in the Super Bowl, Ravens in last place, as you said. So I think that makes sense. I was going to go the Jacksonville Jaguars, going out on a limb here now that another quarterback, year two, Trevor Lawrence will take a step forward. Addition by subtraction, Sam, no more Urban Meyer. That'll help that negative 204 point differential from last year. Now that I say it out loud, a lot more work for Doug.
That's a lot of points.
It is, but they've made even if they overpaid for players this offseason, they still got better players, right? Even the players are better this year than they were last year. And all of this is banking on Doug Peterson, his ability to get his staff to develop Trevor Lawrence, maximize his talents. I think they're going to do it. So going out on a limb here that the Jaguars are going to be better and have a chance to be the worst to first team for next year.
Okay. The Titans last year were plus 70 or something in terms of points differential. Yeah. So all you're relying on is the swing of 275 points in your direction.
Have you heard the reports of Urban Meyer's tenure in Jacksonville? It's not that crazy.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Doug Peterson's not going to be kicking the kicker,
Probably not.
That's worth at least 15 points right there.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, let us know. Leave it in the comments. We want to know who's going to the Super Bowl, who's going to win it, who's the surprise team, who's going worst to first. It's the PFF NFL Day.